actively shaping the future of cybersecurity professionals through his leadership and guidance. So, may I request Dr. Anand Kund sir to do the please kindly floral welcome to our resource person, Dr. Naresh Kumar Harle sir. Please. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Shall we continue, sir?
Please hand over this. Other light. If no one mic, that is lighting. I think say over. Sachin. Enjoy.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
With your permission, sir, so I would like to share my experience. It is nothing related to any organizations or any specific enterprise. So whatever journey which I have gone through, I acquired certain knowledge, experience, right? I will be sharing with you all, right? And the topic is as a part of this faculty development program, so day 5. So I would like to share my thoughts around the anomaly detection in cybersecurity. So I think cybersecurity is one of the you know uh, evolving area, right? So I would say evolving in the sense it is complex, it is not straightforward. Same time, it is very important. So it is not important for organizations or companies, but it is also important for every one of you, right? Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, it will be a kind of interactive session. So not one way, just I am giving. So please feel free to ask the questions wherever you feel any understanding is required or any questions around cybersecurity, topics, anything which I am showing here, which is typically collected and presented in the form of PPT. So there are certain public informations which you might have come across that information by some means through social media, through LinkedIn, and so on. Okay. So nothing new, but it is very focused kind of discussions which will precisely help you to understand how cybersecurity or how AI ML is shaping or contributing to the world of cybersecurity. Right? So to start with, I would be very happy to ask the basic question: what is your understanding about cybersecurity? I'm sure today is day 5, and you've gone through the journey. You understood the context of cybersecurity. Why so much? Why this is a buzzword today? Why every student? Why every faculty? Why every professional is talking about cybersecurity? Don't you think it is very important? Yes, right? As I said, it is applicable to every one of you. That is not pertaining to a very any specific person, organizations. Right? We all are smart, right? We all are smart. Do you agree with me? Yes. Why you are smart? We are using smartphones. Right? So how many smartphones we are using? Everyone is having at least 2 SIM card in one smartphone, or 2 smartphone, 3 SIM cards, right? Technology is evolving. So we are utilizing 5G, 4G. We are talking about 6G also, right? But it is also bringing some risk along with the technology. So it is very important. We should keep a pace with technology, right? The technology is evolving. We are trying to adopt the technologies irrespective of the requirements. Same time, it is in parallel. You will have to see that how you are using the technology in an effective and efficient manner while keeping the security intact. Make sense? So again, my question back to what is your understanding about cybersecurity? This is very important. If you understand cybersecurity, probably you can start understand the implications or the use cases of AI ML in cybersecurity. Right? So any one of them, it's a very open discussion, right?
protection of digital assets, identity.
Right? Protection of digital assets. Perfect. This is partially you answered it, right? It is the right context. Any additional stuff? Anything additional? It could be right. So we are not judging anyone here. But you all should know that end of this 5 days or 6 days, I think, you should have a very clear-cut idea about cyber security and where to focus, why it is important for individuals, why it is important for the organizations, why it is important for the professionals, or even for the educational organizations. So why we are conducting this faculty development program? Because you are imparting the education, the next generation educations to your students. So students are also here, right? So it is very important to understand the context so that you can put your energy on the right topic, right domains, because cybersecurity is a very vast, it's not very straightforward. Everybody talks cybersecurity, but what is cybersecurity, right? So protecting digital assets. What else? Something as some additional. 50% is right.
All communication.
All communications.
Data, protecting data.
Communication security. Sir ने भी बोल दिया. Data security. Okay. What else?
System security.
System security. This is one of the domain, right? More answers. I think just think through. So it's very important. So you'll understand. I mean, I'm not giving any additional thing, but you're already aware about it. And maybe in a structured way you are unable to answer. But so if you combine all these answers, probably you'll get the understanding of cybersecurity. So protecting digital assets. We are in application economy. Do you agree with me? What is the application economy? Everybody talks about applications, mobile applications, web applications, application, and applications. So do you think that how to protect these applications? If you protect applications, you can protect your data. If you protect your data, it means indirectly you are securing your computing ecosystem, right? So we can define in a simple without taking much time. So I would like to explain my words, right? So cybersecurity is a framework which help to protect the digital assets and same time it provides some mechanisms to recover from the cyber attacks. Make sense? This additional stuff, nothing because you are using some system. So today you are using a laptop, means there is a possibility of virus, right? Somebody is sending a virus to your system, so your system will go down. Now you should have mechanisms how to recover from it, right? So that is all about the cyber security. It's the simplest definition. Now we have already gone ahead and started discussing about the cyber resilience, which is the next step. So we are not just staying there in the cyber security. Yes, we talked a lot of last 5 to 10 years. We are talking about cyber security. Right? I think 10 years is a good amount of time to spend in the cyber security. We understood what is cyber security, and every organization, every business is trying to protect the digital assets in a whatever possible way, right? Because ROI is very important. I cannot just put, if my income is 1,000, I cannot deploy the security infrastructure of 2,000, right? So we have to protect my system in the best possible way. So I'm using a laptop, I'll put my basic antivirus quick. Sometimes I'll go for open source, but I'm trying to put something around it. It is a kind of fencing which will protect your digital asset, IT asset, and tomorrow anything goes wrong, something comes like a virus, we try to clean it. I mean, first at a first place it will detect. First it will try to protect. If it's not protecting, at least detect and tell you some virus has come, or your file is infected, detected. Now you should have a provision to clean it also. So maybe your antivirus system is running with the outdated signature, so it's not able to clean it. Make sense? So that is cyber security. Now we will again discuss about cyber resilience. What is cyber resilience? Why cyber resilience is very important now? Everybody's almost implemented the security controls, right? For my mobile also we are putting antivirus. I'm trying to put biometric, multi-factor authentications, right? We are trying to protect our digital asset. If asset is not protected, there is a possibility of data exfiltration. There is a possibility of data leakage. There is a possibility of data loss. That is fine. If data is moving out, I'm fine with it. But if it is sensitive data, your private information, which is getting leaked, right? If tomorrow somebody try to misuse it, there is a problem. So again, so data privacy, data security. Sir will talk about data security. So data security and privacy both are equally important. So protecting. So again, I'm coming back to the cyber resilience. So resilience is nothing but any answers before I answer. Cyber security resilience. Now we added one more words. We are too much reliant on technology now, right? We don't go to bank. How many people go to bank? We hardly go, right? If I want to pay something, I don't carry pocket. I mean, I last 6 months or 1 year, I don't see pocket in my with me. I don't carry pocket because I am totally reliant on the technology, right? What technology I am using? UPI, right? Unified Payment Interface, right? It is developed and deployed for the entire. It's a public infrastructure. NPCI is taking care of it. There is a regulations. RBI is there. There are multiple regulators depending upon the ecosystem, right? Now resilience is why important because at any point in time, if you have to do a transaction, you are just calm and quiet. You know that it will happen, right? It will happen, but due to any reason, it will not have. So you want to submit your form and you have to pay some amount, and today is the last date. What will happen? You will miss the opportunity. So similarly, the use cases are getting complex, and we are heavily depending on the technology infrastructure. So protecting technology infrastructure is important. Providing a mechanisms to recover from the cyber attacks is important, and ensuring the organizations who is providing the services they have to build the resilient infrastructure. It means that if your server is impacted with the virus, they will try. They are building infrastructure in a such a way that if my primary goes down, my operation will continue from the secondary. If secondary goes down, there is a tertiary. Make sense? So that is the resilience. Cyber security resilience in the sense that despite of cyber attacks on your digital infrastructure, your company is continue to offer the services to you. It means that you can rely on the technology. So that is all about the so designing a resilient digital infrastructure, secure digital infrastructure is not so easy because you have to invest. So instead of one server, they have to deploy 2 servers, 3 servers. Sometimes they have to go for cloud to save the cost. They have to put something in the cloud. But the moment you put something in the cloud, who will take care of the security? So are we confident about the security in the cloud? We should also understand the security and the engineering aspect of the cloud, private cloud, public cloud, community cloud, multi-cloud, right? So earlier we used to talk about only public cloud, right? To build the resilience, so I'm putting one copy at one server at my premises, one server at the one cloud, maybe a Google cloud, right? But tomorrow there is some issue with the Google cloud, or maybe Google is charging more money to you. What you'll do? You'll go for Azure. So when you are moving from Google to Azure, what is the exit clause for you? There is a contract agreement. Your data is lying there. Maybe used for 1 year, 2 year, 5 year. Then how will you ensure that that data is taken care? It is also getting distracted from primary. So data security, info security is a very holistic umbrella. So cyber security is a subset of that. Right? So we'll come back to the topic of our everything. So that is more towards AI ML use cases. So before that, you should understand how cyber security operation happens for any organization, right? Are you aware about cyber security operation center? Have you heard about it? You heard about NOC, Network Operation Center? Huh? You must have heard about it. So Network Operation Center in the sense, the service provider, let's say CP is there, Tata is there, there are multiple service providers. They're offering services, maybe a lease line services, maybe internet connectivity and so on. What they are doing, they are ensuring that the connectivity is up and running for you. Now you are using 4G, 5G, you are connected to the network, right? Getting my point? So availability is very important. Getting my point? So cyber security operation center is an integral part of cyber security. So cyber security is a domain. I mean, is basically a one area which consists of multiple levels of domain. So we have to think about defense in depth, right? So if you want to protect your home from burglary, what will do? So there is a physical gate, there is another gate inside. So it's a multiple defense in depth. That is something called as a cyber security, something like that. And that number of layers depends on the complexity of your data. If your data is very sensitive, very critical, you can put the multi-layer defense in it. Right? So that is okay. So again, cost is involved. So if you want to protect your data with multi-layer of defense, then you have to invest. You need more money for that. So depending upon the kind of crown jewel which you want to protect, you are trying to put the multi-layer security. Make sense? So when we want to study the cyber security, before we go to security operations center, first you need to understand what are the layers of cyber security. You can see this laptop is connected here, somebody is streaming from here, is connected to the internet. Now there are different layers of infrastructure. So what you can see sitting here, how many layers you can see here? What is the first layer? So I'm not asking about TCP/IP layers.
Exclusive layer.
Huh? Yes,
Several
sir.
layers of security.
So layers in cyber security. So you have to put a security at multi layers. That's what I'm trying to say. What is the first layer? System. Let's talk about it. System. You can see this system is connected to the network. Right? System security is very important. So maybe the fencing around this security, the asset is put up in a secure zone. Right? If it is a server, I could have set up in a cage. If it is a critical server, then I could have set up this system in the data center. Make sense? Right. So first level is system security. So this system is talking to internet through communication. So talk about communication security or network security. So network is a second component of cyber security. System security, then network security. What is next? Application. So on top of this, I am running the streaming application, I am running the browser application. So there are various web applications or thick applications I have deployed on top of this system, which is connected to a network. So I am saying application security is also important. Just protecting this particular laptop, accessing from all of you, I can protect. But what is happening to my application which is running inside the system? So how can I monitor it? How can I monitor the performance? How can I monitor the security of it? That is application security. So we talk about three layers. And what is the fourth layer? What is the crown jewel? Why you are putting multi-factor authentication for your mobile? Biometric हम क्यों रखते हैं? User ID, then biometric, then OTP. Why there is a multi-layer security? You want to protect. What you want to protect? Data. So data security is the fourth layer you can say. So you have to put security at the system level, network level, application level, data level. Now there is one more layer because of the evolving technology, emerging technologies. There is one more layer introduced. We have become open now. Earlier, only bank network used to talk to their own systems. Now one bank is talking to another bank's network. It's open. Then how they are collaborating? You heard about APIs, right? So after API, sorry, application API becomes the one of the commonly used collaborative communication component. We earlier heard about APIs. I mean, we are hearing API as a word for a longer time. Earlier also, one system is to talk to the another system. But now because of Web 3.0 evolutions, you can see that the technology, the SOAP protocol, then RESTful protocols, these are the various protocols used for the communication. So one system, it is an open network. Open, see, whatever I am talking, you are understanding, right? Why? Because there is a common language. So similarly, there is a set of protocols. Protocol is a kind of program, it's a common protocol, both understand. So one systems exchange the information with another system, again response, request, response, request. So that communication is happening through the API. So API becomes one of the critical components for the security. So API security is also important, right? You got my point? So we talk about this 5 layers. So you can imagine how you can deploy various security controls for the system, network, your application, API, and then data. So that the entire ecosystem, your asset, digital asset, your servers, your computing environment, your all kind of communication systems can be protected from the attacks. But there is no guarantee. Can anyone assure that yes, my system cannot be hacked? Anyone can guarantee about it? Or you can you give any guarantee about your mobile phone? Nobody is using my mobile phone. There are no rootkits. There are no unauthorized software running within your mobile phone. Can you give any confirmance, assurance about it? No, you cannot give because there is no guarantee. So what best we can do is we can deploy defense in depth. I can put antivirus. I can keep updating Microsoft operating system. है ना आप हमेशा अपडेट करते हैं ना मोबाइल को क्यों करते हैं your systems is running with setup programs. Setup programs are using multiple libraries, right? So today that library, your program is safe, but tomorrow there is no guarantee. You must have heard about Log4j. There are many issues happening, right? 0 day. Have you heard about 0 day? It is a technical word. I'm sure you all are technical, so you should start understanding. Note down if you don't know. Note down. Please explore because these all things are required. You need to understand if you want to really understand the cyber security, the ecosystem, right? So 0 day because any system can go wrong at any. It is unpredictable basically. So recently you have gone through the recent attack of CrowdStrike, right? At least you heard about it. What was the issue? What what is gone wrong there? What was the root cause of it? It is a public information. I'm not sharing any confidential here. How many of you understood it? So CrowdStrike is again a security product company. They are offering various set of software to various organizations. So it is a kind of supply chain attack. So supply chain attack in the sense one vendor is dependent on another vendor, right? So that vendor is also dependent on the third vendor. So there is a supply chain. So today I am able to do the transaction sitting here with Google Pay, GPay. But how many vendors are supporting technology, application vendors? So many things are happening. So they are taking care of their security. Hence we are safe. But tomorrow anything goes wrong in the supply chain, your application, your data will not be safe, right? So you have to continuous monitoring is required. And आप आपका लैपटॉप मोबाइल हमेशा देखते रहते हैं So anybody, any unauthorized person sends a text. So do you open it, right? We open it. Huh? We don't open it, right? Somebody is sending. So recently, I mean, last 1 or 2 years, people are sending part-time jobs, right? I mean, you get it. We just try to engage them. So finally, they will send you a link, and if you click the link, you're gone. They will say, you click here, you need not do anything, you will get every day 2,000 rupees. People will be very happy. Sitting at home, doing nothing, getting 2,000 is absolutely, good idea, right? So it is not that, easy. So people try to take a control of your system by installing some software here and there. So security in the supply chain is very important. So anything go wrong, so today your Linux system is safe. So any component, let's say any small component in a library comes with a 0 day. What will happen? The organization has to identify quickly and fix it. Till the time they fix it, they have to put some workaround. They have to immediately check how many systems are infected. Makes sense? So that is how the cyber security world works. Everything is unpredictable. So nowadays, how organizations are working, they say that they work assuming that they are under attack. So assume brace is the new terminology they have started using. They are assuming that my organization, my system, my application is already under attack. So how can I protect how best I can make my system resilient? Assume brace. That is what people are thinking, and that is helping organizations to build the resilient infrastructure. They are imagining, yes, there is a ransomware attack. You heard about ransomware, right? Correct? How many of you heard ransomware attack? Any example?
Once there was
Any example?
once there was a spider web attack on the Windows system. They locked hard drives and asked for money to get access to your own data.
Correct. Correct. Any specific example? So recently, I mean, there was, I think, 5 to 6 months back, there were interruption on the cooperative banks. There were transaction stuff, connectivity stuff. You did the transaction, but money not deposited. So something happened. So there was an issue of a ransomware issue. Again, it is linked to the supply chain, right? The organizations are heavily relying on the fintech. Have you heard about fintech? What is fintech? इनटेक पता है हमको आईटी पता है इंफॉर्मेशन टेक्नोलॉजी व्हाट इज फिनटेक फाइनेंशियल टेक्नोलॉजीज राइट व्हाट इज ओपन बैंकिंग हैव यू हर्ड अबाउट ओपन बैंकिंग closed banking is fine open banking is what there are many startups come up they are developing the newer technology maybe sitting at home you can open the account this is ease of operations right? You need not visit, you need not submit any documents, your account is getting open, you will be happy. But somebody is developing that technology. And somebody has to also vet that technology is safe and secure. Right? So every technology rolled out in the organization has to go through the stringent security checking and validation process. Right? Now we'll come back to, now you understood security, cyber security, layers of cyber security, cyber vigilance, why API important, right? Now we talk about the different layers of cyber security. Then in cyber security operation, what we need to monitor? Digital assets. Digital asset includes your laptops, your servers, your Wi-Fi systems, everything which you can see as a digital asset, as a part of enterprise, as a part of your organization, you can record it and make sure all those devices, systems are integrated with the security operations center. It means operations center is nothing but it is an area where set of people are continuously monitoring your digital assets for cyber attacks. Typically, security related concerns. So now what are the security, what are the different security concerns we should understand for the operation? One is availability. CIA, you heard about CIA? है ना? Many of you heard about CIA, confidentiality, integrity and availability. Right? System is available, not available, it's not available, there is an interruption to the business. So they have to continuously monitor the availability. If primary goes down, then either communication must be shifted to secondary automatically, or someone has to take some time and start the secondary system so that end user can continue to use the technology infrastructure and services. So security operations center is a set of people's tiered architecture where tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 kind of people sit and monitor your all integrated resources, digital assets. So digital assets includes, as we already mentioned about it, right? When you talk about any organization, enterprise, you will see the end user infrastructure, laptop, desktop, PDAs, etc. Then what are the network infrastructure? Switches, routers. Example, I mean there could be a more devices. Then security infrastructure. For example, firewall is protecting your network. Your proxy, internet proxy, which is allowing secure internet browsing for the users. Right? That is also monitored. So every component, irrespective of whether it is a technology component or security component or the application component, should be integrated with the SOC and monitored for CI aspect. Got it? So it's clear what is to be monitored from the SOC? Okay. The next question is how to communicate, how to integrate these all devices with the SOC. That is second problem. Okay, we said that all fine. We have 1,000 systems, which include everything, has to be connected to security operations center. Right? It has to be integrated with the security operations center. So integration means what? How you will integrate? So every device has a capability to generate the logs, right? If I log into system, you will find the logs, right? System logs, security logs, performance logs, and so on. Those set of logs generated by each system has to be forwarded to the centralized storage system or centralized system. You can say there is something called as a simple. I'll talk about it. So I'm just trying to simplify so that you'll understand how things happens in the security operations center. So there are a couple of slides, but yeah. So kind of tiered architecture. So there will be a tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 and the management. So tier 1 basically includes your first level of defense, which is monitoring. So all incidents coming there on the screen, they're monitoring, oh there is a failure of system, okay. There is somebody is trying to put a wrong passwords, maybe attacker is trying to access the system, or somebody is trying to shut down some services, important critical services. Right? Payment services are critical. If server is running a payment system, let's say UPI service, and they found that there is an alert coming to the screen in the SOC, this service is going down. It's important. They have to quickly address it. So there is a tier 2 team who gets into the immediate communication with the owner of that system. Oh, what is going wrong there? Just check. Quickly, there is again a SLA. So depending upon the criticality of an event, that needs to be resolved. If it is normal, it may take 4 hours. If it is medium, it may take 1 hour. If it is super critical, because going the payment system down is highly critical, right? Because the users may not be able to do the payment transactions there. So it is critical. There is a business loss, right? अगर मेरा 1 मिनट के लिए अगर मेरा सर्विस बंद पड़ता है तो what is the loss to my company? 1 crore. then we should have an appropriate mechanism to ensure that 1 minute or 1 hour downtime can be reduced to some 0 or 4 minutes, 5 minutes, which is acceptable to me, right? That should be within limit. So there is a tiered architecture in the SOC, layer 1, layer 2, layer 3. Understood what is SOC now? So tier 1 monitors it, tier 2 it's more of a technical team, experienced team. So maybe having a 3 to 5 years experience, 6 years experience, who is understanding the network logs. Just looking at the alert, it is not helpful, right? They should also understand the system integration, they should understand the operating system, they should be having a live experience, on the system management, network management, security management, and so on. So depending upon their expertise. And there is something called as a tier 3, which gets into a kind of investigation mode. If there is a kind of hack identified, is some system is hijacked by some attacker. Maybe there is a ransomware attack. So there is a critical system. It is a critical incident. Then we have to immediately what we do. Tomorrow, if you see a ransomware message on your desktop, what you'll do? Have you seen the ransomware messages? No? So you can see on a desk, your screen will be locked and there will be a message where clearly mentioned that you have to pay so and so amount, clicking on this link. So that message only come. You cannot get into the system. That's the only message you can see. Right? So the moment you see this message, what will be your first action? Disconnect. See, disconnect from the network first. So that is how, there are different standard operating procedures to be followed by a different organization depending upon the criticality. But it totally depends on whether is a unique system, single system at home. Probably process is very simple. If it is a part of education system, probably some level of seriousness. But it's a payment organizations or the banking organizations or financial organizations, that is a very impactful because they have to report these incidents to Government of India. There are certain authorities on top of it, maybe the regulators, maybe the critical infrastructure monitoring under the Ministry of, it's a kind of MHE. Make sense? So that monitoring has to happen. Okay, so you got it. What is SOC? Now we'll discuss some of the use cases. Now we understood all digital asset needs to be integrated with SOC. So that system is called as a SIEM, right? Security, Incident and Event Management. Incident and Event Information Management. SIEM is a kind of solution, right? Just like antivirus solution is a one more software, which is a herd of SOC, which receives the logs from all the systems. Got my point? Any questions? So SIEM is a component which receives the logs from all the components, right? That will be passed, right? The log formats will be different, correct? If you see the logs coming from desktop will be different, logs coming from the firewall will be different format. So there will be an intermediate parsers. You must have heard about parser, which converts your system log into a readable format. And a log के अंदर क्या होता है? If you receive a log from, let's say your system, this system is sending a log to SIEM. What will it include? Basic information, IP address, timestamp, host name, likewise. So that parsing is nothing but that raw data will be converted into a structured data. It means dividing that complete the state line into a different components and will be inserted into a database. So that process is nothing but the parsing. So once data is passed and stored in the database, it is simplified. So your SIEM will use only required information. Okay, it will check at the event ID, and event ID related information is already there in the system. So they can identify, oh, this is a service shutdown incident, or this is the incident for this is a incident for account logout. Getting my point? So there are different IDs given. So every student has got ID. You have ID, right? So similarly, every event which is coming to SIM is also having some identifier. That identifier will be used by security analysts sitting in the SOC. उनको पता है because they are knowledgeable like us. We all are knowledgeable, right? We are having a different level of knowledge depending upon the experience. Hence, why I'm saying this, level 1 person may be having a 2-year experience. Hence, he's just monitoring the alerts. If you understand it, you work on it. If he doesn't understand, you will pass on to tier 2. Tier 2 team is having more experience. They will try to analyze, they will try to understand and respond. So what is the first action SOC has to do for any kind of security incident is respond. What is the first action? SOC में पहला action क्या होता है? कुछ अगर attack दिख गया उनको, what they do? Respond. Respond in the sense they understand it, analyze it. Oh, okay, ये सर का system है, इनको immediately phone करो या email कर दो, right? If it is normal, maybe within 4 hours he can reply. He will say that no, it is a genuine. I was trying to log in into the system, but I forgot the password, so I tried 3-4 times. Make sense? So if it is not a normal, maybe he said no, I was not trying. It means it is phishing. Then some detailing has to be done. From which location, who is trying to log down, right? They will try to see the again CCTV footage, and those kind of investigation happens in the back end. So that may be resolved maybe 8 hours, 6 hours, depending upon the type of critic. Right? What is the second action? SOC team has to respond and whoever is the owner of that particular asset, hai? If you are a owner of firewall and it is a incident for firewall, you have to resolve it basically. It means they have to confirm whether it is right, wrong, why it happened, justify. That is nothing but the resolution. And that response will come to again back to SOC. The SOC team will validate it whether this person is saying right or wrong. Because